This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All right, we are back, baby, ready to rock and roll. There he is, Omar Kelly. Yes, sir.
Wearing my Dolphins gear for all those Dolphin fans out there who say that I'm not a fan of the team.
Bullshit. You just had everything else dirty. That was a freebie that was hanging around, so you threw it on.
I love this shirt. What are you talking about? Listen, the Dolphins, even though it is a freebie, when the Dolphins give out free gear, man, that Dolphins dry fit, Tom Garfinkel spares no expense now. He's not a corner cutter, and I love that.
Well, as long as it has the old logo, I'm all right. That one, yeah. That whale logo's got to go. Tom's got to fix that. I had an interview with Tom about a year and a half ago, and he basically it's there on YouTube somewhere. You can kind of tell it's in the works. It's
no. You know what it's about? It's about you still buy the old logo. So all these companies, they make you buy the new and the old.
Right, yeah. But what I'm saying is they're going to go back to the old logo. They'll put their own twist to it, like they did in the 90s. And, and you'll see. They'll go back to it. They eventually, there's a time thing to it. So, and I think we're approaching it because you have to wait, I think, 7 years to file after the logos, after the whatever logo you have in place, and then I think within 10 you get to do it, and we're like in that realm right now. So I would not be surprised if we see some kind of change very soon with them, because remember that whale came out before Garfinkel, if I'm correct.
Wow. Yeah. I can't remember, but yeah,
I think so.
I've been here too long. I've been here 15 years, bro. Like
I think the whale came out just before Garfinkel came in, and Garfinkel does all the right things. So Garfinkel wouldn't have done a whale. So I think Garfinkel's gonna get it right, because that's what Garfinkel does. He gets it right.
I'm looking at it. I'm like, it looks like a dolphin to me. You keep calling it a whale.
Yeah, it looks like a whale, bro. It's a whale movement. That's not a dolphin movement.
Okay,
whale
that absolutely 100% agree with you on that.
Yeah, it's like
it's a whale movement.
They made it look very, Kyle Lowry-ish.
Wow.
Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, whale-ish. I'm sorry. That was like some kind of a Freudian slip or something. I don't know. I don't know what you want to call it.
Let me ask you a question. This is not Dolphins talk. This is South Florida talk.
It's the off season, bro. Let's go.
Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant. Should the Heat make a play?
I wouldn't trade for Kyrie's crazy ass in any way, shape, or form. Plus, you already drove Kevin Durant crazy in one place. You don't want him.
No, I'm not saying a package.
Durant's the guy that I would make the move for if I can, but I think the Suns have the better in. I think Donovan Mitchell is the other one that you have to try to make a move for. So yeah, it's either Durant or Mitchell is the moves that I would try to make from the Miami.
Donovan Mitchell doesn't make you an instant title contender. Durant does. And I would say Kyrie does as well. I know you don't want to.
No, you can't count on Kyrie. So that's not. Plus, he never stays healthy or anything like that. There's.
All right. But what has Donovan Mitchell done and won?
Well, but he's in Utah. I mean, dude, it's hard to win in Utah, my brother. Even Karl Malone and John Stockton were great players, and they couldn't get it done. Now, they did it in the Jordan era, which made it even harder for them.
Okay, take out the crazy. Who's a superior player, Irving or Donovan Mitchell?
Oh, Irving.
So why would you? I mean, and that's
because he's crazy and unreliable and injury prone, my brother.
Yeah. Here's
he
my
lacks
thought process.
All professionalism.
Here's my thought process on the Heat, and this is a place that I dream that one day the Miami Dolphins get to. I don't care who it is. I don't care what the player is. If Pat Riley is advocating for it, if this is a Pat Riley move, I have trust, faith, and belief. And
I understand that.
And I'm not going to question it. If he delivers,
I get all of that, but he makes mistakes too, and signing Kyrie Irving would be a mistake. By the way, right now, the Kyle Lowry signing is a mistake.
Because he had whatever the drama is, and
No, I don't care. No, I don't. I respect that side of it. What I don't respect is his lack of professionalism on the court. The fact that he didn't take care of himself and he looked like me, that's unacceptable. Whatever issues he might have had personally, that's fine, bro. Leave the drive-through alone. I'm sorry. Compartmentalize, man. Yeah, you had issues. Well, yeah, you don't need to stuff your face, man. You need to run that. You need to run that basketball team. And
some of us stuff our face when we got issues, Big O.
Well, hey, listen, I've had that problem for a long freaking time, bro. So I know what fatness is. I got to fight the fatness
Big O, and
I've been fighting the fatness for 30 years now, really, because it was in my early 20s where the rubber band broke, and all of a sudden everything that I ate stuck with me, which was like the weirdest thing.
I eat my emotions, and I feel judged by you.
Yeah, but you and I aren't NBA point guards. So, I can do my job fat. You know what I'm saying? You can do your job fat. He cannot do his job fat. And so so that signing is a bust. Whiteside is a bust. He's going to make mistakes. You know what I'm saying?
I trust and believe he'll figure it out.
As much as, after a mistake, he'll figure it out and get you out of it. And that's what I love about Riley. I would never give up on Riley. But I would disagree with him like I did with Whiteside. I never agreed on that contract. And I did not agree, by the way, on the Lowry and Butler contracts because they're too old to extend them that long. But hey, man, I get it. You gotta live with the good, with the bad. But Kyrie is not a guy. He's not a Heat player, Omar. Think about that. That's the other thing.
Listen, but if Pat did it, I'm not saying. That's why I asked you your question and your thoughts on it, because I've heard the same thing from my fellow Heat fans and some of my homies who we privately chat. People don't realize this, but I'm like a fan too. I don't always like put on my analytical, and I always reserve my opportunity to be a fan of like one team. It used to be the Hurricanes. I basically emotionally divorced myself from the Hurricanes. Cristobal, I might come back. But the Heat, I just fan out on the Heat. Don't want to cover them. Don't want to deal. I just fan out. So I'm just curious. What you say?
Great franchise, dude. They just know how to do things.
Yep.
They do it right. They're just amazing the way it is. But Mitchell is a Heat player. And you will be a contender with Mitchell. If you're not really giving up, the house like you would have to that's the problem with trading for Kevin Durant. You may not have enough left over to surround him. And then you're like the big three in the first year that you didn't have enough around him and you had to go get Ray Allen and Shane Battier and all these other guys to kind of complement, the big three. Because you got to have role players, man. In any sport, sure, you need the stars to put you over the top, but bro, the role players, they've got to be, they're super important. And that's the problem with that. Now with Donovan, he's a Heat player, not like Kyrie. And if you're able to trade for him, you'll have to give up a lot, but not the amount that you have to give up for Durant.
Yeah.
And so you'll have enough to pair up with Butler and the boys.
But if that deal could have gotten done, don't you think it would have gotten done by now?
The Donovan one? No, because we don't know what the hell's going on in Utah, my brother. They want to move Gobert, and they had head coach issues. They just brought in a new personnel guy. They are in flux right now in Utah, and a lot of people don't understand necessarily what they're trying to do. They just traded away one of their better role players yesterday, in Royce O'Neal. So it's kind of an odd thing what's going on in Utah. A lot of us don't know what's going on. And when you start trading pieces away, then Donovan Mitchell looks around and goes, who's left? Who's competing with me? Oh, I want out of here. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like the Durant thing. He got to a point where, okay, well, this is a whole mess. Kyrie, they don't want to make any commitment to him. Well, then I want to get the hell out of here. Gotcha. You know what I mean? And so I think that's what's going to happen with Mitchell, that he needs to reach that boiling point and say, okay, I've had enough. I got to get out of here. Nobody wins in Utah anyways, dude. It's so hard. It just is. When you're not in the NBA is a weird dynamic. Because see the Bengals this offseason, they needed offensive linemen and they went and spent a whole bunch of money. You're the Cincinnati Bengals. You can still bring free agents in. You're the Carolina Panthers. You can bring free agents in. But in the NBA, you're the Charlotte Hornets, or you're the Utah Jazz, or you're Memphis Grizzlies, or you're the Sacramento Kings, or you're the Orlando Magic, bro. You got no luck in free agency. It doesn't matter, dude. These young players, they don't want anything to do with those towns. They want to go to New York. They want to go to Miami. They want to go to LA. They want to go to Chicago. They want to go to cool places, or a dynasty like San Antonio when they had it going on. Outside of that, these cats in the NBA are completely different, man. So Utah is a really difficult place to win if you can't draft or trade for the player. That's all weird. You know?
I hear you.
It's tough. Look at Golden State, another sexy destination. So
it's always that way, though.
Yeah, no, but they made it that way because it's a great town. Well, it was, because I don't know about that state. It's kind of gone to shit. But anyway, San Francisco, normally a great town. So if you have a good team, if you're the Niners, if you're the Giants, and then obviously now the Warriors, people will go. They'll play. They'll play in the Oakland. They'll play if you make it sexy, because it's not a bad area to live. But some of those other areas like Sacramento, dude, you can't get a free agent to go there if his life depended on it. You have to overpay for a B-level free agent and give him A-level money.
Yeah.
That's the only way. It's sad. It's sad. All right. Did you catch the Tua Tyreek podcast?
No, I didn't. When did it drop?
It dropped. By the way, Tyreek Hill, you can, I'm going to go to camp too. And if I get a chance, I'll tell him that he's officially now Cuban.
How far? What I missed?
Supposedly it was supposed to drop at 7, and then it didn't drop at 7. So then he sent out a tweet like, hey, relax, everybody. It'll drop on all platforms at 8 o'clock. So take your time getting home, and you can, whatever. I'm paraphrasing his tweet. So 8 o'clock rolls around. There's no drop. I think it dropped like at 10 o'clock. So he's officially a Cuban. That's it. Tyreek Hill is officially in South Florida. We have polluted him. I know what you're about to say, that the brothers sometimes also take some stock in being late. I get it. I get that. But we got to take hold of that. We kind of own that as Cubans, bro.
I didn't even know that about Cubans. And can't you say
we are the worst? We are the worst. The worst. The worst. It's not even close.
You could say it, and technically I could say it. So hey,
no, I got a friend of mine that he says slow down. He tells me all the time. He goes, we're just as bad. He says it all the time. So that's why I mentioned it to you, because I know my friend,
yeah.
and he tells me, I know, bro. Black people we're rarely on time too. And I go, well, I can tell you, us Cubans, bro, we're late to a funeral.
CP don't stand for Cuban people time, stand for colored people time. I'm just saying.
I guess. I know you guys want to take that claim.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
If you want it, you can have it.
Like, no, we own it. No, we own it. I know very few Cubans that are on time. I'm one of the few Cubans that comes on time to things. Okay?
I'm an on-time guy. My wife, we spent the first few years of our relationship battling with that, because, if you tell her 8 o'clock we're leaving the house, in her mind that means we leave the house at 8:30.
Okay.
So I had to start lying about the time we're leaving, and now whatever time I give you, you got 15 extra minutes. That's it. And we do a makeup in the car from that point. And it's only taken me about 7 years to get there. But I'm proud of where we are. And now we're usually only about 10 minutes late to everything, which means we're probably the first ones there in South Florida.
Pretty good, actually. Yeah, that's pretty good. 10 minutes late means, you're probably one of the lonely ones there.
Yeah, 10, 15 minutes late. And we're either the first or second ones there. And I'm okay with that. But people know I'm going to be on time, generally.
Yeah. No, you're right about that. All right. When you watch it, one of the things that, and I think we've kind of seen it, throughout the offseason, but you'll sense it a little bit more, I think, in the interview, is Tua's more comfortable and more confident than he's ever been. And I think it's really not about him. It's just about the environment that has allowed him to now become more of himself. I think instead of as reserved as he normally is, which he is reserved on the private level, but I'm talking about on a professional, on a football level. And but it's funny because when you see the interview, you'll see that Tyreek Hill is still kind of pushing him to kind of take over the team. But here's the interesting dynamic that being in locker rooms. Players never really take over locker rooms, no matter what position it is, until they take over on the field. Once they take over on the field and they're dominating on the field, whether they're an offensive lineman, a quarterback, a running back, a wide receiver, as you know, they open up a little bit more and then they become more of themselves, and they can also become more leaders too.
There are exceptions to all that you're saying, but it's very true and valid.
You can't be a leader if you don't lead on the field also. Let's just
sometimes if you don't dominate, if you don't play well on the field.
Yeah, put it this way.
And sometimes guys who play well on the field have no interest in being leaders. That's right. Xavier Howard. That's Cam.
Right. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Zach was not that guy either. He led by example.
Bullshit. Zach was a leader.
Zach was more a leader by example. He wasn't going to rattle people's cages, bro. He wasn't going to do that. He wasn't the rah guy. He wasn't going to do that.
Nobody said he didn't need to be a rah guy, but he got everybody prepared. He got everybody, he got everybody on the same page.
Like Dan Marino will light your ass on fire. You understand? That's the difference. Zach
I don't need my leader to light my ass on fire.
Sam Madison will light your ass on fire.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
That wasn't Zach.
No, Sam. It was Pat. Sam will tell you. It was Pat that was the leader.
That too. Both of them. Both of them were very vocal in locker rooms with people and having to do all that. Zach really wasn't that guy. You know what I mean? Now, if you come to him for leadership advice,
no,
of course he's going to give it to you.
I buck back at you, and I know you were in those locker rooms. I got to buck back at you because I think, and the stories that I was told, Zach was a leader. Zach was the guy that everybody looked to.
Yes. If you go to him for leadership, but he's not the guy that's going to be standing in the middle of the locker room. He's not.
We're not talking about the guy standing in the middle of the locker room giving a speech.
That's
not leadership to me.
That is leadership to me. The guy that can walk up to people, talk to them, the guy that can pick up a guy, the guy that can call somebody out.
I can walk to people, talk to them.
That wasn't really Zach. Like Tim Bowens wasn't really that guy either.
No, Tim Bowens wasn't that guy. But no, I know Tim Bowens wasn't that guy. But
right. Now Jason was more that guy than Zach.
You're really making me uncomfortable here with this conversation because no slander against Zach shall prosper.
It's not a slander. I know Zach very well. That has nothing to do. It's not a matter of slander or anything.
You're sitting here saying that Zach wasn't the preeminent ultimate leader, and I disagree with you.
Okay, well that's fine. He's not a vocal leader. Never was. That's not who he is.
So you're telling me
that's not who he was in the locker room. I know that's not who he was. He was a leader, yes.
I don't need you to be the vocal. The guy who stands up and gives the speech before the game is not always the leader. That's
no. But it's not just a speech. Oh, it's calling somebody out. It's rattling somebody's cage.
I think Zach called out plenty of people. I've heard plenty.
No, Zach. No. You can go ask around. That's not Zach, bro. That wasn't him. That he wasn't really that kind of leader. There's all kinds. But my point is, your quarterback has got to be a verbal leader in a way, to a certain extent. And
I've covered so many who weren't. I can't sit here and tell you that you're right.
Right, but Fitzpatrick was, right? Marino was, right? Now, Pennington was. Tannehill couldn't be that guy because he never took over on the field. That's my point.
I don't think it's in his personality, even if he did take over on the field.
He's opened up more in the other place because he
I still don't think
a little more successful
in the other place either. But
no. You're right. He's not a leader in that sense. You're right. It's not in him that way. But my point is,
it's interesting that you're saying that because now I realize we have two different definitions of leader and leadership. and we both want it to look a different way than it actually looks.
No,
And
you continue to misunderstand me. There are different kinds of leaders. What you're saying is right, but what I'm also saying is also right. There are
I
different
agree.
kinds
Yes.
of leaders. That's
See,
all. You can be a quiet leader. You can be a loud leader.
I
Either
want
way, it doesn't
accountability.
matter.
I want the guy who and I see this in what I'm doing in House of Athletes. I'm in a leadership role, and right now that's my biggest struggle because I'm here leading superstar athletes, and I have to connect with everybody in a different way, and it's not easy. And I can't even imagine when you got 53 of them in your locker room. Like
Right. Hey, look, Cam Wake was a leader. Now, was he a raw guy?
Cam
No.
Wake was not a leader. Cam
But
Wake was not a leader.
no, he is a leader in the
No,
way
he
he
was not.
plays. Yes, in the
No.
way he plays, the way he is professional, down in, down out.
If you
The
ask any
example
of
he
his
sets.
teammates,
There. What I'm trying to explain to you, there are different kinds of leaders.
I don't
Some of
view
them are
the
vocal, and
example. I
some
don't
don't have
view
to
I'm
be.
doing it. Everybody follow my path as the leader. No, sorry.
No, you're wrong because
No.
you're wrong because there's the defensive end coach talking to another defensive end, and he's using Cam Wake's film to show him exactly how to do it right, how to handle this, how to handle that,
And so does
and that's your.
everybody else. There was a point in the NFL where they were teaching edge setting and pass rushing and bend using Cam Wake's film. So everybody in the NFL, Cam Wake's leading everybody in the NFL, bro. That's ridiculous.
Well, that's not ridiculous, my man. That's reality.
No.
That's reality.
You're saying because I'm doing it right.
Reality is when Derek Jeter has all these things flying around about how many women he's dating, this and that,
No.
and the guy is calm, cool, and collective the entire time
You
in
know,
the middle of all the mess in New York. Little do you know, that's leadership for the entire Major League Baseball to look at. It's not just the Yankees, my brother. Leadership is shown in all kinds of ways and all kinds of fashions.
It does. But you know
So
what's the hierarchy of leadership to me? This is my hierarchy of leadership. Story we told on I Am Athlete, the Aaron Donald episode, where Brandon related like his defensive lineman had gotten abused by a Jets offensive lineman, and Brandon, who is a member of the Jets, is watching Aaron Donald, and he says to the defensive lineman, and I'm paraphrasing here because I'm keeping it clean, if you ever let anybody else do you like that in a game, you're not gonna have to deal with the coaches. You're not gonna have to deal. You gonna have to deal with me.
That's fine.
That's not acceptable. If you can, and Reggie Bush was probably in the hierarchy in my Mount Rushmore of leadership, because Reggie Bush would call out his teammates, call out his coaches, call out the captains. And I remember
there's all kinds of leadership, man.
It's about accountability and holding people accountable. I remember one time Reggie Bush, after a loss, Reggie Bush called out the leadership of the team. Jeremiah Bell bucked back and took offense because it was really Jeremiah Bell that he was calling out. And and then we go back and forth, and we go back and forth, and then we go to Reggie and say, Jeremiah said this. And Reggie pulled out the receipts and said, this. These are where we fell short as leaders. Have him respond to that.
Right.
And, bro, accountability, that's my number one hierarchy. If you are
and that's all part of leadership right there.
Yes.
Whether it's accountability that you're holding somebody emotionally to something or you're setting an example for someone. Either way, it doesn't matter.
Dude, I don't see the example. Okay, give you a perfect example. And I hate to speak about him like this. Is Xavier Howard a leader of the Miami Dolphins?
Yes.
How so?
Yes. How he plays at the level that he plays. He's not a leader. some of the issues he's had off the field. Maybe you can't use that as leadership. He's quiet. You can't use that as leadership. I get that. But you can use his play as an example of him being a leader because he plays hard mostly on every down, right?
Was Brett Grimes
and
the
he makes
leader of the
plays.
Miami Dolphins?
So he
Brett
has,
Grimes-
to a
Okay.
certain extent, he has some leadership qualities to him. Now, is it the kind of leader that Ronnie Lott was going to be? No, it's two different people. Is it the kind of leader that Deion Sanders is? No,
Perfect example. Okay.
That's another different kind of leader, So those are three different kinds of leaders. at
Rashad
different
Jones,
levels.
pause. Wait. Rashad Jones was a preeminent safety, probably deserves to be in the Ring of Honor for what he did in his Dolphins career, played at a high level for a good long period of time.
Quiet dude.
Was he a leader of the Miami Dolphins?
He was a pro. Yeah,
See?
I think he sets an example of how to be a pro. So that is a leadership quality to him.
I'm giving you parallels, and you said one is a leader because you selectively made him a leader, and one is a pro because
Rashad Jones and X are two different. X is at a higher level. Like
X is at a higher level.
That's an elite corner.
X is a pro. I wouldn't look at X as a leader. I don't think X would look at himself as a leader.
No, he's not a verbal leader. No, he's only a leader by play. That's it. That's what he is. Yeah.
So was Rashad.
Yeah. I would call him a leader by example. Yeah. There's nothing wrong. You can lead by.
Look at those guys.
You can lead by example. You don't have to be a rah-rah guy.
I didn't say you have to be a rah-rah guy. Are you going to hold people accountable? And this is where our definitions of leadership, and this is an interesting discussion. But
isn't Rashad Jones heading the secondary?
No, he never did. Rashad never did what Javon Holland is doing.
No, but he was one of the big players in the secondary, right?
Okay,
in that room.
And when shit went wrong, you know what Rashad did? He finger pointed.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, no, it's true. And he, instead of holding people accountable, he did this. And I don't look at that as leadership. Okay. I don't look at that as healthy. I remember Cam Wake, give you a perfect example. And this is Cam Wake. This is putting Cam Wake's business out there. We were bothered, miffed that Cam Wake's playing time was going down, that Cam Wake wasn't getting the same amount of reps. And Adam Gase, and I can put this out there now because everybody's gone. And we were making a big deal about this. And Adam Gase comes to us and basically like, listen, guys, you're barking up the wrong tree because you know what? You know who decides when they play and who decides what packages they're in and who decides when they go on the field? Cam Wake. Ask him about these things. And Cam was cherry picking plays.
Yeah, because he's a pass rusher.
So, but at what point
he knows exactly. But he knew exactly what he was. Probably he knew that he was more of a pass rusher, not a guy that was going to help you in the run.
At one point in Cam's career, Cam was the best edge-setting defensive end in the NFL.
That was in the first few years.
But it was there. It happened.
You mentioned Adam Gase, doggy. So we're talking the back end of his career now.
But
at the back end of his career, we all saw that he was a liability against the run. Let's be honest.
Okay, but I'm not talking about run plays. It was pass rushing situations, pass rushing specific situations. And I don't know whether it was injury or whatever. And we confronted Cam about it. We're like, here we are holding the coaches accountable, basically, checking these coaches. And the coaches are like, hey, that's Cam. Cam decides when he goes in the game. We give him that autonomy. And so when he's not in the game is when he decided not to be in the game. So, and we were like, and then we confronted Cam about it. He was like, guilty. And it's like, and we're talking about
I don't know why that's an indictment.
No. We're talking about critical moments and critical stretches of the game when you would expect your best players and your leaders to want to be out there.
He might not be healthy. He might be winded.
I didn't know.
He is an older player at that point.
Yep.
He's not the same guy anymore that he was 5 years before that.
And I think this was at the end. This was at the end of the season when the players basically didn't want to play for Gase and help him win.
Oh, and that's now you're throwing another nasty ingredient in the mix there.
I'm just throwing out.
Now you're throwing all kinds of elements that affect the player and not his leadership, dude. When it comes to Cam Wake, bro, that's a pro's pro, man. That guy
is a pro's pro, but he's not a leader.
Played his ass off.
He is a pro's pro.
Hell yeah, he's a leader. Anyone that sets a good example,
that's not a leader, bro.
Is definitely a sign of leadership.
I'm sorry.
Just because you're quiet and you go to work every day and you do your job well, okay? You don't have to be vocal. But if you do your job well and you're not a liability, you're a positive to your corporation team, you're a leader.
We don't agree about leadership. You know what leadership does, in my opinion? Leadership holds management accountable. Leadership holds their peers accountable. Leadership makes sure things get done. They just don't, I'm doing my job and I'm doing my job well. That's not leadership to me. I'm doing my job well. I'm a great example. No, you're a great pro. You're not a great leader. If a great leader holds people accountable, and to parlay the conversation to Tua, I've seen him be a good leader. I've seen him hold Austin Jackson accountable. I watched Austin Jackson when I was telling you that line was trash during practice, joint practice against the Falcons. Yeah, what's his name? Tua got up in his face and was like, "Yo, WTF? Like, what's going on here?" And that was leadership. If the crap that I saw had happened and Tua did not step up and step in his face, I wouldn't give him that leadership label. To me, that's leadership. Leadership starts with holding people accountable. And because you
have to earn the right to be able to hold somebody accountable.
You do, but to me,
and that's my point of it all. That Tua's on that point where once he crosses that threshold this year of his play on the field, I think that's where you're going to see. I think we're going to all see a different Tua than we've watched the first 2 years.
I'm telling you, it's there. He's
because the environment will allow him to grow and will allow him to become actually himself. I don't believe we've actually seen the real Tua the last 2 years. I think people will now finally see the real Tua now this year. That's
Is he a captain this year?
Oh yeah, I'm not even worried about that. Listen, you don't need to have the C on your thing.
I'm talking.
You're the quarterback. You're the quarterback. You better own the team. You better be.
He was the one starting quarterback in the NFL who was not a captain.
And you know what? He shouldn't have been a captain last year. In that environment with that coach, no. You don't need to be a captain when your coach is undermining you.
Oh, I agree.
There's no way you'll ever be a leader anywhere if somebody's. Put it this way.
At the beginning of the season, let
me ask you a simple question.
Sorry,
Will any head coach in the Dallas Cowboys ever be respected as long as Jerry Jones is there? No. Of course not. I can answer it for you.
Yes.
You took
Sean,
way
Sean Payton will be.
You took way too damn long. Huh?
Sean Payton will be.
Okay, but that's a real coach. Then he has to.
No. You just asked.
But what does he hires puppets? He doesn't hire Sean Payton.
And he'll hire Sean Payton, and Sean Payton will be respected.
But if he hires Sean Payton, then he's not going to be the same guy anymore.
He's going to be the same guy.
Sean Payton is not going to take
they run the streets of the Combine in New Orleans and Indy. Come on,
I don't think Sean Payton works for that guy like that. No.
What?
Well, all he hires are puppets. He doesn't
Sean
hire.
Payton's not a puppet, and he's going there.
After Parcells, he no longer wanted to hire a real coach anymore.
He's going to hire Sean Payton. We'll see.
We'll see, but I think Sean Payton will get a better job somewhere else.
Is there a better job?
Yeah. Anything's better than dealing with Jerry Jones, bro. Anything. You cannot have respect in that locker
Listen,
room.
Jerry Jones is one of the top executives and top drafters in the NFL.
No, his son is one of the top drafters in the NFL.
The Cowboys organization is one of the top.
Stephen Jones and his people are the ones that are doing
That's fair.
Not Jerry Jones.
But you know who's the executive? Who's the top executive? Jerry Jones.
And you know who never wins? Jerry Jones.
Miami Dolphins too. So don't put it just on.
Yeah, Jerry. No. But Jerry Jones hasn't done anything by running the Cowboys himself.
He's got championships.
No, that's Jimmy Johnson's championships.
That's why Jimmy Johnson had to leave because Jerry said in mine. And then Jerry won one with what's his name?
No. That's Jimmy Johnson's championship, not Switzer, not Jerry. That's Jimmy Johnson. You're
Johnson. A liar.
All three championships.
Where's Jimmy Johnson's ring? You're a liar.
It's his whole coaching staff, his whole talent.
You're a liar.
You want it.
Where's the ring?
Jerry Jones and Barry Switzer went on the ride of Jimmy Johnson's carpet, is what they did. And since Jerry Jones took over, what do they won? They don't win anything.
Does he have rings or not?
Yeah, thanks to Jimmy Johnson.
Is he one of the best top 5 executives? Is the Dallas Cowboys one of the top 5 run organizations from a personnel standpoint? You're a liar, Big O. You're a liar.
They don't win.
They draft well.
They don't win.
You're a
they
liar.
Don't win.
You're a liar.
They don't win. The production's not there.
You want to give Chris Greer some flowers for good drafts. He don't win either.
Yeah, well, he's only been in charge for a couple of years.
Bro, he's been in charge long enough.
He hasn't been doing it for 20 years of mismanagement like Jerry Jones has. No, wait a minute. It's 25 years
for being one of the best drafting teams in the NFL.
And that and a cup of coffee. What do you got? What do you got?
A healthy organization.
What do you got?
Healthy organization.
What do you got? You win nothing.
Dak Prescott.
So do you want to be the Cowboys or do you want to be Andy Reid and the Chiefs?
Andy Reid's a totally different conversation, bro. Don't do that.
I'm just saying.
Andy Reid has a better coaching team
I'm just asking. I'm just asking.
You're asking me to compare.
Are you going to trust them or are you going to trust Belichick and the Patriots?
Who? Cowboys?
Yeah.
Run the organization? Give me Cowboys.
Well, okay.
Give me Cowboys.
Patriots will probably win more even without Brady than the
Cowboys. We'll see. Give me Cowboys. I'll take Cowboys any day.
You'll be waiting forever.
New England's one of the worst run organizations in the NFL. Give me the Cowboys.
Yeah, they do. They can't draft. That's true.
Give me the Cowboys.
Can't draft.
Jerry's gonna find me some talent now.
Yeah, but Jerry doesn't win anything.
Oh,
it's about winning, Omar. There's no winning going on there.
Tell me how many teams won anything without Brady.
You want Jerry or you want the Bucks and Brady? You're gonna ride the Bucks and Brady.
No,
right?
If you're asking me which organization am I?
No, like right now, what are you going to ride with? The Bucks and Brady or the Cowboys?
Cowboys.
You can't. How can you say that? They won a title and they got deep into the playoffs last year.
Cowboys. Give me Cowboys. Better roster. Give me Cowboys.
Yeah, but they win nothing.
Younger quarterback.
They'll be better if they get Brady and the coach, and then you move them over. That maybe maybe they'll win.
Todd Bowles, and I'm a Todd Bowles fan, but you don't know if Todd Bowles is going to make.
Well, I don't know about Todd Bowles is a cigar store mannequin. I don't know about Todd Bowles, but he'll be carried by Brady and everything else that's in there. So maybe Todd Bowles will have the Barry Switzer luck. Is what he'll have.
Bruce Arians, that's my dude right there. So yeah,
Cowboys.
I
even defend the Cowboys. They're a joke.
Put to your people.
They're a joke, bro.
What organization would you want for the next 3 years? Not just.
I don't want anything. I don't want anything to do with Jerry Jones. He does nothing. It's all hot air. He's perfect for wrestling. It's like fake. It's not real.
Hey, man.
It's not real.
Top 5 drafter in the NFL. Top 5 front offices in the NFL.
And they don't win.
You need a lot of things to win. The Dolphins don't win.
He's going to hit me with a chair.
Dolphins don't win.
Yeah, but they're not a top 5 drafter. They have to get to top 5, and then we'll see if they lose. You know how special you got to be a top 5 drafter and never win?
Jared.
That's pretty awesome. Like you were never part of any Super Bowl picture.
At
no
least,
deep runs in the playoffs.
At
You
least
barely make the playoffs.
That they're a top 5 drafter.
Yeah, I know, but that doesn't. That's like having a 10-inch penis and no blood rushes to it. What the hell does that do any good? Right? Oh, I've got Mr. Flaccid. That's not going to help you, Omar.
Hey, that's why you need Viagra.
The Cowboys are Mr. Flaccid.
Wow.
That's all they are. They lack the Viagra. They got to call Blue Chew.
Wow. Listen.
That's right. BlueChew.com. Use the code Big O. You will get some free Blue Chew there. So make sure when you talk to the Cowboys, they sign up for Blue Chew because they're flaccid, buddy.
Hey, all right. I can't argue.
You can't go to battle with a floppy one. You just can't, bro. All right? So, Jerry shows up and it's shriveled and floppy and, it's not going anywhere, bro.
All right.
So watch the Tyreek thing and then tell me what you think about Tua.
I will. I'm on it.
That's your homework.
I'm all right.
All right, and by the way, go order your Cowboys jersey right now too.
Hey man,
we all got you now pegged. Cowboys fan.
Don't forget Pittsburgh.
It's the Dallas Morning News. So the Gazette is out now. The Morning News is in. That's nice. Or is it the Fort Worth Star Telegram? Which one's fighting for your services?
You already got me working for the Pittsburgh Post Gazette. So
apparently no. Apparently you want to go to Cowboy Land now.
No, I don't. I really don't.
I don't know. That's what it sounds. I think the people on the board right now are thinking, Omar's a Cowboy fan. There he is.
Love you, bro.
All right, so you checking out homes in the Fort Worth area this weekend? I'll see you on Tuesday. Be good.
All right, bro.
Happy 4th of July. Later.
Happy 4th of July to you too.
All right, man. That's Omar Kelly in our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.